All right. It is Wednesday, the 9th. And if you missed class today, I just want to go through very quickly a couple things that we did because we have a test this Friday on the 11th of September. So we started off class with asking if you guys had any questions. And then I wanted to make sure that everybody has watched the lecture video. So there was only one video for this week. So as you can see this week here, we didn't have school yesterday, so there was only one lecture on the graduated cylinder and balancing notes. So I want to make sure that you went into the folder for Tuesday. So we're in week 3. After week 3, Tuesday, you want to make sure you're in there, you've watched the video, and you've done the lecture questions at the bottom. Okay, awesome. Then after that, we said, has everybody done or knows how to do tomorrow's lab and participation points? So you want to make sure that you do the mixing lab and then at the very bottom, participation points. So because you missed class, you will have to find some time to meet me tomorrow during my office hours in order to get your participation points for the week. Then wanted to make sure that everybody had the review packet. That was in the packet that was sent home. So you should have this. And then we are going to talk about the test that we had on Friday. I will post the key to this, or you have the parent packet with the answer key as well. So talking about the test is going to be open from 7:30 until 1:30 p.m. So that's the school day on Friday. It is 23 questions and 65 points. So it's actually quite larger than the quizzes that we've been having. So you want to make sure you're studying for it. And it will be open for 90 minutes. So if you have extended time, that's already built right in. Okay. The big thing, you need to know everything from the first 3 weeks. So taking a look at what we did for the first 3 weeks is Unit 1. We did the safety notes, the equipment, Bunsen burner, graphing and variables, and then this week's graduated cylinder and balance notes. So all of the stuff, everything from the first unit packet is fair game for the first test. Okay, so you want to make sure you're doing the review sheet. Like I said, you should have the key of the review sheet. And what I did, you can see on mine, this is the review sheet that I did. I have these little circles on here. I went through and I took a look at the test and I said, all right, question number 1 on the test, is it on the review? Yes or no? Question number 2, is it on the review? Yes or no? So everything on the test can be found on the review. So you want to make sure you're doing the review. Okay. If you struggle things like picking out independent and dependent variables, there's 2 case studies that you guys can check. If you want to make sure you know your equipment, there's some practice there as well. Okay. And then if you have accommodations and you feel like you would usually have a small group test, we need to have Mr. Chant is going to reach out to you. And there will be, we're trying to figure out how, but we'll find a way if that is something that you usually do and you feel like you need. We're going to try to get that accommodation to you, and we will figure out something. But Mr. DeChant will be sending you an email. The only thing with that is that you will have to take the test during our class period on Friday. Mr. DeChant has different other classes going on. You have other classes going on, so we can't just say, hey, everybody meet at noon. So you will take it, if you want those accommodations, you will take it at 9:10 on Friday. Okay. Other than that, if you are not looking into that, you may take it at any point in time during the day. 23 questions, 65 points. The only other thing that we talked about, want to make sure you do your review sheet. One of the things that a lot of students usually miss, so I want to make sure everybody's feeling good, is when they're reading a graduated cylinder. When you're reading a graduated cylinder, you must always estimate one place after the last known digit. So when you come to a graduated cylinder question, the first thing you want to do is you want to take a look at what the incrementation is. So this is between 50 and 60. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 graduations. So what does each one have to be between 50 and 60 if each one is if there's 10 incrementations? Good. Each line is 1 milliliter. So then the next thing you have to do is you have to say what you know for sure. So we have this meniscus And remember, we read from the bottom of the meniscus, not the top. So you need to get eye level and read from the bottom. What you would say is we all agree it's 50 milliliters. It's at least 51 and 52 milliliters. So everybody agrees that it's at least 52 milliliters. You then have to estimate one place after that. If on the quiz you said 52 milliliters, it would be marked wrong. Okay, it needs to be 52 point what? And that's where you take your eye and you go 52 point, what do you think that is? Now, we might not all agree where that meniscus is. I said 52.8. Maybe it's not exactly 52.8. Maybe you think it's 52.9. Maybe you think it's 52.7. So this last number has to be there, but that's an estimation. So we don't all have to get it exactly the same. Okay, let's try that again on another one. So I want you to take a moment. You see that we have between 8 and 9. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 increments. So each of these have to be worth how much? Good, 0.1 milliliters. So now let's take a look at where our meniscus is. Our meniscus, I believe from the bottom of it, is right under this line right here. So we're going to say it is at least 8.1, 8.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. So we all agree it's at least 8.6 milliliters. 8.6 what? I believe it is right under 8.7. So I'm going to say 8.69 milliliters, but you have to have that point of estimation in order to get it correct. Okay, so be careful on Friday when you're reading your graduated cylinder. Another thing that sometimes trips up students is when you're graphing. My suggestion when you're graphing is that you slow down, you read the title, you read the X and Y axis, and you just take a moment to figure out what the graph is actually about before you even read the question and try to answer it. Some students run into the data and they don't really know what they're reading. So stop, read everything about the graph, get yourself grounded, and then answer the question. Okay, perfect. So I found out that this is actually on the review, so I can take that page right out. Okay, so this was for the class to put in their participation points. You need to make time to come and see me and make sure you're getting your review sheet done. And like I said, you should have the answer key.